Well, it's been a while since we've done one of these.
Yep.
Yep.
Puff, here's what I wanted to delete with. I got recommended a video called 10 Questions I Would Ask Eiichiro Oda About One Piece. And this is the thumbnail. So I guess my first question to Oda would be, how do you feel about half of the population thinking you're Eiji Aonuma?
Oh god, that's hilarious. Oh my god. How did this even happen in the first place that the
I
Zelda guy gets
don't
confused as the
fucking know. I
How
don't
did it
know why everyone
happen?
thinks Aegeon. Okay, but here's the thing. I know that like a lot of very popular things when you look up Oda link to an Aegeon Numa photo. But the initial question is, of course, how the hell did that person mix up Oda and Aegeon Numa? They don't look similar, is the thing.
I guess people it's like I guess that's what they imagine Oda like 20 years later
It
maybe he'd
has
look
to.
like that. I
Yeah, because like
guess.
Eiji Aonuma always has glasses and like a beard and usually a mustache and graying hair, whereas every photo we have of Oda, most of which are ancient, he doesn't look anything like that. So yeah, that one will always be funny.
All
All right,
right.
what?
All right, now let's get back to bad One Piece opinions. Woohoo! All
Fuck
right.
yeah.
I want to jump straight into another power bottom video, but Shiki said no, so we're doing that like next week or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're not gonna be too greedy with
yeah,
our good
yeah,
formula.
yeah, right. Okay, so
Should we ask for that? What series do you want power bottom videos for?
I know I know which one we're doing next, and I'm not changing my mind on
Oh
it.
yeah, no, I wanted to do that one next too. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
All
All
right.
right. Now, I guess first we should start off with the topical one, and it's that pretty much everyone assumes that like Loki's gonna be the final villain, and
Or like
pretty likely.
or even just like a main villain.
Yeah, it's sure like that seems kind of
Yeah,
likely.
he gave Luffy goosebumps. He said he's going to destroy the world. But also, just a point to One Piece fans. Hey, One Piece fans, you got to remember the fact that in One Piece, if someone is called evil, we hear from hearsay that they did evil things, and we meet them chained up, and imprisoned. You, as a One Piece fan, should be able to think, wait a minute, there is a decent chance he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of similar to say who am I thinking? Who's a good example?
Zoro.
Yeah, Zoro. Zoro's a good example. Zoro's the perfect example. Actually, it's very similar.
So
Uh,
basically, just I think it is more likely that Loki will be somewhat antagonistic in some way. But everyone's like, "Oh, dude, Loki's the new villain." It's like we don't even know if he's a bad guy yet.
oh well. Anyway, in my I made an egghead video recently, and I didn't get any goofy comments under it, but I think it did change a bit of my search engine because I got recommended on like a few Reddit posts about how Luffy is Jesus actually, and the whole One Piece is a retelling of the Bible.
It's always funny.
Yeah, yeah. The title Oda is tying everything to the Bible. I know most shonen series tend to reference Buddhist or Hindu ideals and characters, but this is a going idea of mine. Basically, I believe a lot of references the Bible in One Piece, and I will clearly name each character thing here or there that they reference. Now, Monkey D. Luffy is Jesus Christ.
Is he? The thing is,
Luffy displays the ideas of freedom.
he
Jesus
does.
believes in freedom of the soul.
That's nice of him. No other religious, um, like, no other important religious figure in any religion believes in any type of freedom. That's a good point.
The D Clan are the disciples of Jesus.
That's what the D stands for. Fuck,
Yeah,
that's such a
yeah, yeah,
good
yeah.
point. D stands for disciple because when I think of what the enemies of the gods stand for, it stands for disciple. That's what I think of.
No, no, no. This is taking place in like a bad timeline where like Satanists have taken over the globe or whatever.
Oh,
Uh,
stupid
yeah.
Satanists.
Okay. Rocksteady's a
Famously, One Piece always poses Satanists as bad people. Also, Brook is friends with Satanists and was thought to be Satan.
It's okay. It's okay. He'll have a character arc about how that was bad later on. Okay.
Also Sanji with his Diable Jambe, the fires of the devil.
Rocksteady's a Beck is the devil.
What?
I mean, I feel like he contradicts himself immediately because he said that the D clan are the disciples of Jesus, but Rox D Zebek is the devil.
Yeah,
So
wait,
is he
if
supposed to
wait,
be?
what?
Is he supposed to be like Judas? Like, but Judas
Yeah, no,
isn't the
wouldn't
devil.
Judas make more sense? He's like
Judas
the
isn't the devil.
evil.
Yeah,
He's like the evil Jesus friend.
yeah,
Wouldn't
but
that like if you had to force this? Wouldn't
yeah.
Judas make the most sense?
So like immediately these 2 points just contradict. This is a great post. Kaido is the four horsemen of he's famine because he and Orochi took all the food away.
Okay,
Sure. Okay. Big Mom is the four horsemen of death because she steals life.
okay.
Whitebeard is the four horsemen of war because
Is good at fighting.
it's because he instigated a war against the world government.
No, he did. That's an insane way to
That's
put that. What? That's
that
really
is
funny.
kind of
But
weird.
across all the seas, everyone, including Buggy, knows the one Whitebeard rule, which is if you hurt my crew, I'm going to come beat you up. And then the government's like, bet public execution. And it's like, oh wow, I can't believe Whitebeard would instigate a war. How could this have happened?
All right, and then we got Shiki, another four horsemen, our favorite emperor of the sea, Shiki. He
Yeah,
is
hey man, according to
pestilence
some theories.
because he is pestilence because the Battle of Ed War, it just says because of the Battle of Ed War or an unknown disease, which I guess is a reference to the movie and how like some people got that green rash.
Okay, it'd have to be that because Ed War, Shiki lost because of a storm. Does pestilence have like a second
Running
like meaning
water
that I don't
kills
know about?
bacteria or something, so I
But like
guess.
Shiki lost to like a like just the concept of a storm.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, Blackbeard is the Antichrist, of course, because
Uh
he's pretend chosen
what is
one.
the world government in this?
Uh, wh-
That's what I'm
wait,
most
wait, wait, wait,
curious
wait.
about.
He doesn't bring them up. He does not bring
Right?
them
That
up.
feels like a major hole in this
That
theory.
he doesn't bring it up. To be fair, this came okay, that actually isn't fair. I was gonna say this came out 3 years ago, but that was still way the fuck after Enies Lobby, where we established that these are major villains.
Uh,
So we got the seven worlds of the sea, and they're the seven deadly sins, which I've seen thrown around a lot, even outside of this whole religion
and yeah,
discussion.
that's a really popular. Should we just talk about how bad that theory is?
Yeah, sure. So we got Doflamingo's wrath. That fits good. That fits
Yes,
good.
he wants the world to burn.
Yeah.
Let me check the popular one. Doflamingo is okay. So next is other easy ones. Hancock is lust. That's the
Yeah,
other easy one.
yeah. Thirsty lady.
Who's pride?
Mihawk. I think Mihawk's pride.
That makes the most sense. I found a graphic that says sloth, but that's fucking brain dead because Moria is sloth. Like Moria being sloth is probably the most obvious one. I
Yeah, I know.
think. Like as
Easily.
a,
Like I'd say like that and Doflamingo being wrath.
and then we
Crocodile.
kind of start losing it. Like who's envy? Is it
Uh,
crocodile?
Here we have Jinbei's envy because he was
He's
envious of the
envious that he's
surface.
not a minor, that he's not like a second class citizen or something.
Yes, he's envious that he's not on the surface and not like equal to the humans. He is
That's a little
envious of this
gross
fact.
because like envy does have like a negative connotation, so does it being a deadly sin. But Fishman wanting to be on the service is a completely valid moral belief. There's nothing wrong with it. What's Kuma? Is Kuma greed?
Kuma is gluttony because his daughter eats a lot, so we can presume that maybe he eats a lot too.
But doesn't he eat a lot because he's a buccaneer?
Well, actually, we don't even know how much Kuma eats really
No,
because
if he did, wouldn't it be because he's ginormous?
well, yeah, sure, and just like this was 3 years ago before like we learned what the connection between Bonnie and him was.
Right. And
Uh,
then crocodile is greed
Greed because
because
he had a casino and like wanted his own
Mhm.
country
Okay.
and stuff.
And then of course there's also like tons of really dumb overlap. Like Doflamingo is obviously wrath, but also he's immensely fucking prideful and also is greedy. He was easily the wealthiest warlord,
Yeah.
like without question.
Yeah, and I guess like the sins are like most characters will embody one of these sins in some way or another, so it's very easy to lump it on. But like I feel
Yeah.
like Kuma just like hard breaks it because he is like literally the perfect paragon of
No, Kuma and Jinbei are both just like
yeah,
amazing
yeah,
people.
him and Jinbei. Him and Jinbei are like the like pretty like actual paragons and heroic figures in the story.
Yeah, and even then, Mihawk is pushing it with pride because it's like,
Yeah. All
yeah,
right. So
Seven Deadly Sins equals Warlords. It's just like people saw the number seven and their brain did a backflip.
yeah. So the rest of them are just general stuff like poneglyphs or the Bible or whatever. It's like we're past all the interesting ones, and just like all right, so like obviously One Piece references makes Bible references a good deal, right? Like Egghead
Yes,
probably has the most actually of any arc, I think.
yes, because Kuma.
Yeah, and it's weird to have like a hard Christian reading of the entire story though. Like I feel like it just
Yes.
really does not work. And like even then, like I get like Luffy's a god now, but like he doesn't act at all like Jesus does.
No, and also just like the obvious problem with like a hard religious reading is like I've read actual like articles about how One Piece is interesting because of how it will not adhere to a single religion the way a lot of other really big shonen do. Like even though Bleach has other religions, especially in the Blood War, Bleach is Buddhist as fuck.
Oh,
Like
absolutely, yeah.
Buddhist as fuck. Same with Naruto, Buddhist as fuck. D. Gray Man is Christian as hell. Oh my god. But then the thing about One Piece is like even if you look at the Straw Hats, it's hard to tie Luffy to any religion. Zoro is very deep in Hindu mythology and has a lot of like Buddhism shit too. Sanji doesn't really tie deep to anything, and even like his techniques, like Diable Jambe, Foot of the Devil, is like oh Christianity, but then his newest attack is Ifrit, which is not. So like
Yeah, he just
and then
references
even
demonic
and then
beings
even
because
just arc
demonic
by
beings
arc,
are
like if
associated with
Wano was
fire.
anything, Wano was pretty Buddhist, but then yeah, Egghead is pretty Christian. And as everyone can just guess, uh Elbaf is probably gonna be pretty Norse.
Yeah, we met this guy named Loki like like last chapter. He kind of seems like we're gonna have a Norse thing going on.
So just yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah, and hard religion readings in One Piece are always silly.
yeah.
Oh, Puff, can I do my Loki Sengoku comparison since we're talking about
Yes,
religion?
absolutely.
Okay, so here's the we've brought up Sengoku before. This is gonna be a similar thing. Right now, people are trying to use Loki's ties to religion to guess his place in the plot and maybe his powers. And while sure that is doable, I need people to remember that that thinking is not infallible. Because imagine it is Impel Down, and you are trying to guess what Sengoku, the guy who seems like he's about to be the main arc of Marineford, he's called Sengoku the Buddha. And you are trying to guess Sengoku's powers. You guess he has the Buddha fruit. Oh my god, I'm so proud of you.
Dude,
Did
I'm
you
gonna guess
it,
that he's Gojo and he has the power of
yeah,
infinity and
wrong.
enlightenment, and he's gonna like.
Okay, yeah, no, this is the next part. Can you guess the Buddha fruit's powers? The answer is no. No one was going to guess Buddha shockwaves. Maybe like five people, but no. If you tried very hard to use religion to guess, to guess Sengoku's, and also if you tried to use religion to guess Sengoku's place in the war, you also would have been wrong. Because Sengoku throughout that whole war is a guy who staunchly just seems to be for the government as hard as he can, since the father and all that shit. And then at the end, he's just like, "Oh, I'm regretful. The government's covering up Impel Down. Wow, my job sucks ass."
Yeah.
So quite literally, while religion readings can work and you can definitely use them, you should never go too hard on them. Like I'm pretty sure last time we used like the trying to read Onigashima by actually using the tale of Momotaro and how dumb that would be.
Yeah,
Here's just
yeah.
another example. So basically, while yes, you can definitely use Norse mythology to probably guess like broad sweeping things about Elbaf, just like you could use it to guess very broad things about Wano, like that the final battle would be on Onigashima. Don't go too hard. You're gonna lose. You're gonna get lost. You're gonna lose yourself in the
I think
sauce.
you can go hard on like specific references like
Yes.
like you look at like a lot of Vegapunk's Stella's satellites were like named after like certain figures from mythology or
Yeah.
whatever, and they were all like there was a kind of a common theme of all of them were like people punished by the gods like Lilith or Atlas. So like yeah, like obviously those are obvious symbols, and you're supposed to kind of read into that at least a little bit. So like definitely go try for it. Just like don't try and contort the whole story to be about one specific religion because it's not.
Well, you can do it
Frankly,
for fun, but like quite literally, if you're trying to make serious theories, you are going to end up like probably wasting your time.
yeah.
All right.
All
So
right.
what's
So
next?
next is actually about the One Piece fan letter special, just because it was really good and we liked it a lot.
Thank God. Yeah, there's no bad opinions because I didn't see anyone shitting on it. It's just good.
It's great.
Like it's just great. It's probably my favorite episode of One Piece ever. I like just no notes. It's just fucking
It
phenomenal.
looks so good. It was so cool to see like all the same scenes just from a different, literally from the POV of one the mooks and grunts.
Dude, Oars's leg fucking over a guy is so funny.
I know, and
Mhm.
and like your boss in your base is like considered a legend just for holding up like a glacier for like a few seconds so that everyone can get out of there.
Yeah, it's or like I remember like one scene that Chats really liked is the absolute horror when they don't see what's happening, they just see a ship crash down and the island shakes, and Chats is like, "Thanks, Luffy."
Dude,
um,
my favorite scene has to be when the brothers were in between Mihawk and Crocodile.
I guess we could reference the one bad opinion, which is people bitching about if it's canon or not. The answer is who cares. The anime could make it canon to its continuity. It would be a retcon because, actually, no, it would not be retcon, Puff, because you were bringing up the fact that the brothers weren't between Mihawk and
Yeah,
Crocodile,
but
right?
there's a way around that. You could just say this is like the second time they
No,
dinked
it is
attacks or
because
whatever. Yeah.
chronologically, this happened after Ace and Luffy escaped.
Yeah.
So this is a later. um, so basically, could it get retconned into being canon in the anime? Yeah. The question of will Oda make it canon? I talked about this with a few people. My take, Puff, is he might make individual characters canon through like minor references. Like maybe next time the whole world is shocked by something, we see Mini Nami freaking out.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll make the fan letter itself canon for the same reason he won't make any movies canon. Because Oda has like even said this in an interview like within the last year he doesn't like the idea of having to look at supplemental material for the base story.
Yeah, I doubt like any of
Basically,
the
the most he'll
characters.
do with non-canon material is introduce a slice of it as advertisement. Like, oh, is that Ucha's silhouette? Go watch Film Ray.
Yeah, yeah. Uh I really loved when we saw fake Chopper for 2 seconds. The special is full of so many great
Oh,
little
you just him
references
getting
like that.
stolen. It's like, oh, right, that happened.
Yeah. The
Oh,
fake
it's
Chopper
funny that
gets
I also like that the only Straw Hat she got to talk to was Usopp because her whole thing was she idolized Nami for being the normal one in the group of monsters, but she gets to talk to the other one who's like that.
Yeah. It was great.
It's just a cute, funny, great special that everyone should watch.
It was good. Really
I saw
good.
it twice the day it dropped, or like maybe the day after it dropped. I watched it with you, and then I watched it with Chas like 2 hours later.
All right. So next we got the Fishman Island is being reanimated. Which is kind of
And it's
crazy.
only going to be how many episodes?
Wasn't it like 24,
It's like
20?
24, 21.
Which
Anyway, that's fucking hype as shit.
that is insane to me because like if you were a One Piece
21.
fan like 5 years ago, even just 5 years ago, like less, Fishman Island, the idea of being in a timeline where Fishman Island becomes the best like adapted arc in the entire story was like unthinkable.
Yeah,
Like,
because it's
oh
it's
my
gonna be
god.
21 episodes, which it's gonna do return of to return to Sabaody too. So that is a total of
Yeah,
56 chapters and
50.
21 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that makes me want to fucking cry.
Yeah, yeah, and like it's a little under two, which is pretty good because like action chapters are obviously gonna
Mhm.
flow a lot faster. So I think that's good, and it's gonna be the best paced
Yeah.
thing this anime
Yeah.
does in
Oh,
like a
because
long time.
just for reference for how badly paced that was in the original anime, because obviously I know the whole chapter to episode count thing is iffy. For example, if you add really good filler, all of a sudden you can adapt a whole chapter in one episode and it's good. I know that.
Yeah,
However, if you do it every episode, you suck and your pacing's bad. For example, Puff, Return to Sabaody is 5 chapters and 6 episodes. Now, obviously, there's some good fluff in there. Like, they added a whole Brooks song, which is a good thing. I'm
Yeah,
glad
yeah,
they
that
did
was
that.
nice.
But also, it's slow
It
as
was his
shit.
worst song, but like, sure, it's
I
nice.
don't even agree with that. I think you're kind of lying. And then manga chapters to episodes, they had the same amount, 51, which sucks.
It's not ideal, no.
Yeah, so just getting a well-paced Fishman Island is insanely fucking exciting. Oh, we're gonna get a return of horrible Hody discourse. I can't wait.
Yeah. See, oh, no, honestly, I feel like it'll be better this time around just because, like,
You think
people.
they've gotten a bit smarter?
A, they probably gotten a bit smarter, and B, because it's going to be well adapted, they're going to feel like being nicer to it. Because I think that's just
Yeah, yeah.
a thing that happens a lot. Like, even if something is well written, like there's a well written manga, but then like the anime adaptation is like lackluster, or it's not well animated, or not well paced, whatever.
People aren't really interested in talking
Yeah,
about it.
they don't want to engage with it too much, which, like, fair. You don't have to. No one's forcing you. If you don't have interest, that's fine. But just that when
Hmm.
people like something, they will then have an excuse to actually dig in further, which is nice.
Right. All right. What's next?
Next is actually
Oh,
the
oh wait. Oh wait. If we're doing episode count things, can we do
yes,
the
we're
we do
doing the
that
roadmap
that
next. The
prediction?
roadmap. So
Yes. Can you send that, please? I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember
yeah.
it.
All right. So someone made this like weird roadmap for what they want the WIT One Piece remake to follow.
We're a bit behind on this. I understand that it originally came out. We're in July. Sorry, we're late to the party, but we're still gonna make fun of it because it's bad.
It is so like, it kind of reminded me of like when we saw that one video of the guy like doing like his dream roadmap for the live action, and he made the pacing like 10 times faster than it was in season 1, which was
Yeah.
insane. So we got total episodes 263.
Um. That is not to shock you guys. Unhinged. That is unhinged. Because, like, for example, let's just look at the first one. Everyone knows the East Blue Saga is exactly 100 chapters.
Yep.
25! 4 chapters an episode consistently
That
is bad for 2 reasons. One, that is just going to lead to bad pacing. Because here's the thing about like the episode give and take. Certain chapters can actually be done super fucking quickly.
yeah.
Mainly super action heavy chapters.
Yeah,
There are
absolutely.
volumes of Skypiea that you could probably not Skypiea, Ennie's Lobby, you could probably fit in like 2 chapters.
Yeah.
2 episodes, I mean.
You could
But
probably fit like the whole Frankie Fugro fight into like half an episode if you really
yeah,
wanted to.
it'd be a little hard because there's a lot of good jokes in there that take a lot of dialogue, but you could.
Yeah,
But the
you
thing is,
could.
like, super dialogue heavy ones, you're immediately fucked. And also just like extended chapters. For example, Romance Dawn, the very first chapter, should be a full episode.
Absolutely. Like it's just long enough. It's like perfectly paced for a singular episode, pretty much. Because again, it's a one shot. It's supposed to be like self-contained and all that.
And
So,
basically, that insane pacing never goes away. Thriller Bark in 12 episodes is one of the most unhinged opinions I've ever heard in my life.
dude,
Basically, yeah,
what the
everyone
hell do you
clowned
want
on
to
this.
happen? What the hell do you want to happen in Thriller Bark? What happens in Thriller
Just the
Bark?
climax. Just the climax.
I'm literally, I think what happens is we go to Thriller Bark, we meet Brooke like on Thriller Bark, and he says, "That's Moria, the bad man who took my shadow in the
And
giant
Usopp
robot."
fights Perona while we fight Oars, and then we don't even defeat Moria. Oars just falls over, and then Kuma appears.
We
And then
never, we never go into the church for Absalon's wedding. Absalon literally just like tries to marry Nami on the spot right there.
yeah, Oars just like steps on Absalom, and it's like, all right, they're done with that plot point. Hogback cackles in the background until like a falling building hits him or something.
Brooke's whole flashback is actually just like a written text piece at the end of one episode.
Ryuma doesn't fight Zoro. He just shows up and says, "Oh hey, you look my descendant. Have this sword. Bye," and then he leaves.
No, like it happens like super fast. Like Zoro will beat him in like 2 seconds, and then like, oh,
actually, like,
take this
quick draw.
sword. No, like it's quick draw, and like after as Yuma's falling, he tosses Zoro his sword, says he's yours
With his
now.
mouth. It's like, all right, fight over. Simply put, this is the opposite. This is like the opposite end of what Toei is currently doing. Because here's the thing: anime that go too fast also suck. Ignoring the fact that the God of High School anime has like a million other problems, a big one it was breakneck speed. Oh my god!
I never saw it, but I have heard bad things.
Yeah, it's. I don't like the way it looks, but even beyond that, the pacing is fucking atrocious. All right,
Mm,
so just this is a very funny visual that we wanted to make fun of, even though we're several months late. We're sorry.
yeah. All right. What's next? So next is the idea that like Strong World was originally planned to have Nami's like hidden backstory in it at one point, which was pointed out to us by Grand Line Review.
Can you say that again? You cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry. So how Strong World was gonna have Nami's hidden backstory, as was pointing out to us by Grand Line Review.
Oh, yeah, this is just us being dumb and learning something cool.
Yes,
Which is that originally Strong World was going to be a lot more
Nami
intrinsically tied to the
focused.
story and depressing, and then he changed his mind. It's like that's cool.
Yeah. I actually like didn't know that. Like, I'll try and find the source that Grand Line Review had for it and put it in the description. It's like I'm glad that like Grand Line Review like he's not like the best YouTuber in the world, but like he will point out stuff that I sometimes don't know about the story, which is nice, and I like that. All right. So next,
Oh,
um,
about one minor thing with that though, that information has led to a lot of really funny conspiracy theories that Nami definitely does have a secret second backstory like Sanji with hidden parents, because that's definitely what that
dude,
movie
she's the
would have been
princess.
about.
She's the princess
Therefore,
of
we
the
have to
ancient kingdom. She's the
yeah,
princess of the
therefore
ancient
we have to
kingdom.
sit around and wait for when Oda will ever
Dude,
reveal that.
she can intrinsically sense the weather because she's the princess of the she's like Uranus or something, man.
Yeah,
Uh
dude.
all right, so next is people using the Romance Dawn one shots to prove foreshadowing. Now, not the original, not the one that we know as chapter 1, the ones Oda made
Uh, the
beforehand.
one with like the one where Garp's a pirate,
Yeah.
or the one with peace mains, like those.
Yeah,
Because
was it like
here's the very obvious problem with those. They didn't fucking happen.
yeah. Like I'd say like the Peace Main and Morgan Years one is like pretty deliberate in its removal because One Piece is a big overarching theme of like titles and how you should question why people have titles is are the Marines truly the good guys and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So like
like I
if
think
there was
the
literally
very
a label for good and bad pirates that would kind of just defeat the whole point.
yeah, like what is this? The live action? Yeah, because it's like it's a very staunch difference between Fishman Island Luffy saying you decide if we're the heroes or not, and Peace Main Luffy saying, "Oh, don't worry, I'm literally the good pirate faction."
Yeah, it's like that's another thing about like how people like will sometimes kind of misquote Luffy when he says he's not a hero. It's like the point of the scene is that like Luffy is like naturally kind of heroic and a nice person and a good person, even though he's a pirate, but he'll never
Yeah,
consider himself one. Kind of the opposite of how like certain Marines, like say Akainu, will say, "I am justice. I'm here to save the day," and then will genocide an island because he thinks it's for the greater good or something.
yeah, it's kind of the point of like history is written by the winners, but Luffy won't write that history himself. He'll let the history be written by the people who benefit from the win.
Yeah,
So basically, the world at large gets to write it instead of Luffy, because Luffy's not like an authoritarian freak show.
yeah. All right. So, next is oh god, what was the name of this channel again? The one with the bad like video about anime movies. He made a
Oh,
Thriller
that
Bark video.
guy! I'll
Yeah,
find him.
he made a bad Thriller Bark video that had a
He
lot
made a
of.
lot of bad One Piece videos,
He
actually. Hey,
made
man,
he
Kumo
did.
Bear.
Kumo Bear, that's the name.
He's a little bit bigger than us.
Yeah. All right. You mean Evil Puff or Normal Puff?
Evil Puff.
Okay. All right.
But
So
view wise, I'm pretty sure he still outdoes Main Puff with his biggest video.
yeah, probably. I mean, I released an Egghead video 2 weeks ago, and or not even 2 weeks ago, but like a week ago, and it's like
Go watch his
58K.
AK video, please.
Oh yeah, right. I can't believe the fucking power bottom video like quadruple viewed the Egghead video,
Well, it's because
and
Power
then
Bottom
some.
video is the biggest thing on this channel.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, and for understandable reasons.
It was dumb. All right, so anyway, the Kumo Bear has made a lot of bad One Piece videos. The two that really stuck out to us were
The
why One
anime
Piece got
movie
worse
videos.
after the time skip. No, we're talking about One Piece
Okay,
videos.
sorry.
And that one is awesome because it feels straight out 2016. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like he doesn't have a single new talking point. It's like kind of immaculate how like outdated and dumb it is.
yeah,
It's just
it's
basic things like acting like acting like Straw Hats, getting sidelined for side characters is a new thing. Acting like some of the Straw Hats literally never have big moments, and also having to pretend Dressrosa doesn't exist to justify a lot of your talking
Oh
points.
yeah, no, he says
Despite
like say, oh yeah,
Dressrosa being
everything.
like the third longest arc in the fucking series.
Yeah, no, he said like, oh, by the way, everything about State doesn't apply to Dressrosa because Dressrosa is the good one and I like it. And it's like, okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah,
Uh,
and then his third Bark video was actually terrible, though.
yeah, I know it was. I have all the points. Like all my favorite points of his here. A is that he thinks Brooke should have beaten Ryuma, which
Which is like people
it's
do this a lot.
kind of
A lot of
fair. Like
no,
kind of
like Puff, you
fair.
get it a lot. It's like, why did Sanji ask Robin for help? Why did Luffy have to save Law? It's a lot of people misunderstanding that one of the best things about the Straw Hats is that they take on the burdens that the other people in their crew or that they're friends with can't.
Yeah. Cause like basically Brook couldn't be the best swordsman in the world because he cares about his afro too much, and afros are super delicate. So he has to like defend it during battle to make sure like it doesn't like get cut or whatever. And you know, to make up for that, Zoro, who will actually try and be the best sword dude ever, will then defeat the stronger sword boys in Brook's place. Which yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's nice. What else
Yeah.
did he say?
It's like kind of like saying why didn't Nami beat Arlong? It's like
That is a joke we made. Why didn't Nami beat Arlong? Why didn't Law beat Doflamingo? There's a lot of those.
yeah, and then he said Brooke doesn't have anything to do with the villains, which is like, what the hell are you
I
talking
think it
about?
means like they literally don't have like the Nami Arlong level of personal beef. But
Well,
it's
yeah, no,
like,
there's no like personal beef between them, but
but like
clearly these
acting like they
two.
don't have dynamics is hilarious because literally they are like two different bad endings to people who lose their crews.
Yeah, you know, one guy like falls into a deep depression and loneliness and like only gets out after like 50 years of it. And then the other guy was like, I don't want to be alone ever again, so I'll make all my subordinates zombie people who will never die. And
And
I
my
will know.
only three subordinates will be a scientist who makes more zombies, a guy who's invisible, making him very hard to hurt, and then my adoptive daughter, whose devil fruit also lets her fight without being physically present.
Yeah, that's the thing. Point out like all the actual officers on Thriller Bark were like tricksters. They never like really fought directly. So like that's kind of like they kind of they're very like defensive, kind of shielded in that sense. Like
Yeah,
Moria
that
does like
they're
that's
not
why the
meant to fight on the
yeah,
front
that's why
lines.
Moria sends the zombies because the zombies are disposable to him. Like he won't care. He has no like emotional investment in them. He only has it for his three actual little buddies who will never like
And we can see that that emotional investment is strong because you know the Blackbeard raid after the time skip.
yeah, which is just cool and good.
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause that was chapter 925. I remember because I had such or it was a 10 925. I remember because I had so much fun reading it. But what was this next point? It's just like because yeah, Brooke and
Zoro.
Moria clearly have dynamics.
Yeah, his next point. This is kind of like a problem that kind of some of his videos have is that like he like bounces back between points like talking points, which just kind of makes it kind of incoherent and
Yeah.
unfocused. So he bounces back to like Zoro didn't need the Ryuma fight.
What is like? But what does it need mean?
Uh, yeah, I don't know what that means.
Like it was a good fight.
Like yeah, like Zoro got his new sword. He like got to interact with a real sword boy who like he wasn't literally Ryuma, but like he kind of like carried a bit of Ryuma in
He had
him. So it was fun to
Ryuma was like oars. He had a very strong, lingering presence.
yeah. So it was kind of fun to see Zoro interact with him because they both cared about swords a whole lot, and Zoro got to take on the will of a samurai and all that stuff. That's kind of neat. Also
Oh, it was
inherited
also really
will.
cool because because Zoro's swords represent like the wills of the people he's close to. Wado Ichimoni is Kuina, stuff like that. That's why I actually correctly guessed Puff that he wouldn't keep Shusui.
Oh, cool.
Because I remember I talked to you about this way back on Amino because Zoro's swords represent like the like dreams of people. Like
Yeah,
Wado
he
Ichimonji
carries the
was
dreams
his.
of people who couldn't like actually do
What
them.
was the sword that broke from the
Uh,
shopkeeper?
from I'm forgetting its name, but like the shopkeeper, like he said this was my finest sword, and I was waiting
Yeah,
for a cool guy like you to
and
come
then
along to
what's
try and
notable
give
is
it a
he
name.
said, "What's wrong with entrusting my dream to another man?" But he said that after Zoro left, so Zoro actually doesn't understand the dream he's entrusted with, which is why that sword breaks. whereas Wado doesn't. And that's also why he gives back Shusui, because it was given. I'm probably saying it wrong, but because it was given to him, it's not really close to him. That's why I think the most interesting sword that Zoro has right now is Kitetsu, because what Kitetsu means is going to be explored a lot more, presumably with the fucking Venus.
Yeah.
So yeah, just cool, fun fight. Also, Zoro also adds Zoro to the list of characters that can summon fire because they want to.
Yep. All right. So Moria and Ors are just bad and evil for the sake of being evil.
Which is like, what are we talking about?
Well, I mean, like, bro, like, does that not like? Can't you just as easily say that about Crocodile? Because
No,
Crocodile
no.
is just.
I think what we kept saying during this, because he called Enies Lobby one of the greatest One Piece arcs. It's like Lucci's a lot more evil for no reason than Moria is.
Oh yeah, no. Obviously, Lucci just wants to
Lucci just
kill
likes
people.
killing people.
He
Like
just
that's
wants to kill people. That's his main motivation.
yeah, Lucci likes killing people because it's fun. Like literally, his be all end all is murdering people is a fucking blast. Whereas like Mori's just another guy who wanted to be Pirate King and failed.
But just like there's so many like villains in One Piece that are like comedically evil, like Crocodile or Doflamingo, and like does Doflamingo have like a justified reason to be evil? No, no,
Not especially not
no,
to the degree he is. Like maybe if
no.
Doflamingo is like some cool guy who like hunted celestial dragons or something, that'd be pretty badass. But no, he's just a fucking lunatic. Like Crocodile. Crocodile we learned Crocodile's backstory like way later, and it's just that he's a failed Luffy.
Yeah.
Just like Moria, actually. So
Uh,
that part was weird. What else did he say? I know he said some couple other weird things.
that's all that I've written down.
Oh, I remember. He didn't like the Moria shadow thing because he misunderstood it. He thought it was they removed the stakes of the shadows can't return to anyone unless Moria agrees to when he did Shadows Asgard because it still went back to everyone. But he forgot. There's literally like a funny scene later where Moria's like slumped over dead, and Lola and her crew go and like mug him to return the rest of the shadows. Like give it back.
And like I remember, like the reason why they started coming back was because Moria gathered them all up in his stomach, and he literally could not hold them all.
No,
Like,
but he said that was bad writing because it was like circumventing the problem by creating an artificial solution.
but like Moria was just gonna get mugged to death if he didn't do anything.
Yeah, so like, it makes sense either way. Yeah. Also, yeah. Basically, Thriller Bark is great. It's one of my favorite arcs. Be nicer to it.
Yeah. All right. Next is just this is a word we hear thrown around a lot in a ton of videos for all types of series. It's that
Uh-oh.
has the potential to be the best X of X.
Can you give an example?
Jujutsu Kaisen has the potential to be the best manga of Shonen Jump, or have the best ending out of Shonen Jump, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, something like that.
Potential is not interesting because technically everything has potential.
No, absolutely. Any idea has the potential to be super cool. It really just comes down to execution as to whether or not it will be good and cool.
Mhm. Like when people say something has high potential, what they actually mean is they saw an idea that they fucked with.
Yeah, I mean, I feel
That's
like
what that means.
I feel like in practice, I would really only apply this term to like if I know something about like the behind the scenes of what happened. Like let's say,
Like you know that something got like actually fucked.
yeah, like let's say Kubo, like Kubo started dying near the end of Bleach, so a lot of shit got cut. Uh, and now it's kind of getting put into the anime, which is kind of cool. But like the manga
Yeah, whereas
itself kind of
you
got
like you
ham.
could say in an alternate timeline, Bleach could have had one of the greatest manga endings of all time.
Yeah, or like
Not
this
in
is
like some crazy we changed the world alternate timeline, but in a like what if Kubo chose to take a break instead of ending his series type of timeline.
yeah, or like this is an example I like to throw around because it's stupid. It's Ruby, because like Ruby, like again, like it had like a kind of biggish name of Montium in like the indie animation fight scene thing. You had like
Yeah.
Rooster Teeth, which just kind of got like the budget to do a web show, and so there was no like rules for like censorship or anything. They could have literally done anything they wanted, and then the whole production was just kind of a mess. And like there's not many shows quite like that, or not many shows in the position that Ruby was in. Like I guess like the last thing in my head that like kind of fits is like Has Been Hotel. Uh,
Similar.
Yeah. So like,
Oh, has
so if you want to say that Ruby had potential to, it's like, yeah, okay, sure, I get it. Like they had talent, they had really good musicians working there, they had really good they had at least one really good animator working there. So like, again, like I kind of see what you're talking about, but I kind of see it. I kind of get why I would use that term to apply it there.
basically the point is just it's not interesting. It's like how at the start of every One Piece arc, people say this has the potential. Morge, this has the potential to be the best One Piece arc yet. And it's like, okay, yeah, any new One Piece arc, or like it's kind of just like you know what else has the potential? Oda has the potential next chapter to introduce the greatest fictional character of all time.
Absolutely, he has the potential to just craft the greatest, funniest joke that will end world hunger and strife and war in 2 chapters from now. He could do that.
Yeah,
He has the potential to do that. He can do anything because
basically,
potential is
potential is
limitless.
just a boring talking point. Unless you're doing what you just did, like what we're kind of talking about with Bleach, where you're talking about like actual like production hell that ruined something that could have been super interesting.
Yeah. All right. So next is Loadstar will not matter, which
Was
I
that
kind of
Morge who doesn't give a shit about Loadstar? Or was that O'Hara?
Uh, I think I forget, but like a few people have said this, and I know like there's some people that like believe that because I think it kind of comes from misreading the scene with Nekomamushi and Inarashi talking with
Mm-hmm.
Nami. Because like they say that Nami says like, no, hold on, does that mean because the road pongus were introduced, that means that like Crocus lied to us and that Lodestar, the final island, is not important? And then they said, well, we don't think Crocus would lie to you, so for some reason Crocus wants you to go there. He wants you to go there. So
So,
like,
so we're probably going there.
yeah, you could say that its importance was diminished, especially because I think a lot of us assumed that that's where the One Piece would be when we were first going through the story.
Or at
So
the very
like,
least, that was like how we got the final clue to find the One Piece.
yeah, so like again, like you could say its importance was diminished, but like clearly there's still something up with it. And the fact that like, it was even like given a name and stuff like that, like kind of means that like something has to be done, if not in Roger's flashback, then in the current story.
Yeah, basically, we're probably gonna go to Lodestar, and also and then there's the other side, which is people pointing out like very obvious things, which is like, what if Lodestar is where we fight Shanks, Blackbeard, or Cross Guild, or maybe some Marines who station there because they know we're coming. Like Lodestar is such like a very obvious like place to have a giant step before finding the One Piece or starting the final war. Lodestar is such like an obvious place to for big things to be able to happen. She's like, come on, it's gonna be Lodestar. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I know like a lot of people like they say that specifically because they think we're gonna bum rush to the ending, and like to be fair, if that's going to happen, I can imagine Lodestar getting cut or like made really short or something like
Right.
that. But like until we get to the point where I can say with confidence that Oda is bum rushing this, which I don't think, because I don't think that man is capable of bum rushing
Have
anything.
you been
He's gonna
reading
drag
this
he's gonna
fucking
drag
man?
this shit. This man drags, he keeps introducing more characters. He can't stop creating more characters. He can't stop himself. He just
Like, man,
can't.
and I like it, but it is funny how everyone's like, "Oh, dude, O's gonna pick up the pace now." And then the first volume of Elbaf is, "Hey, you remember that guy who looks like Kabaji from the Harujin cover story? He's he's actually a fucking lunatic who believes in a sun god and has a Lego prison."
Yeah, we're gonna spend 3 chapters in his Lego prison, dude. We're spending 3 chapters here.
And a bunch of people saying that. A bunch of people were annoyed. They're like, "Oh, we're meandering again." It's like Oda fucking loves exploring his quirky characters and settings. I don't think he can force himself to rush. I don't think he has that bone.
No, no, no.
It's very funny.
I remember, like, I remember, it was about that guy I told you about sometimes, and like
Yeah.
I remember like when on Egghead, when the Strats like met up with Egghead and said, "All right, let's get out of this island," like right before Kizu showed up, he said the arc's over. And it's like, well, he thought the arc was like over, like it
That's
was
super
done.
funny. That guy's super funny.
I know. It's like, wow, you really think we're bum rushing, don't you? You think we're there already? And he was dead wrong, because after like 12 chapters away from the Egghead plotting, we go back and it all hell breaks loose. All right, so next kind of has to do with what we just talked about with the Lego setup. It's this idea of arc purity, and fans wanting to remove parts of an arc, like the beginning or the end, that they don't like in order to get like a quote unquote perfect arc.
Oh, can you give an example?
Again, like just recently, like with the Lego, the little Lego thing that happened for a few chapters. Said,
Oh, people were saying the arc hasn't started
I
yet.
don't consider that the start of the Elbaf arc. That's like a prelude to the Elbaf arc. The Elbaf arc started when we got out of there. It's like, bro,
Mhm.
what are you talking about? We're on that's Elbaf. That's literally Elbaf.
Yeah, basically people are weird with arcs where like they did some weird things with Wano too, where they were like very careful about it. I think it's because it's
Dude,
so hyped
Onigashima
up.
was my favorite arc. I love the
I
Onigashima arc.
hated the people that wanted to do that. I hate those people. The
I
people,
think the
it is just
worst.
strange where it's just like what's the worst one? Is there a worse one?
Yeah, the worst one is post Eni's lobby.
But that's
It's
not purity. That's just because people
yeah, but not
were
I know
really
I know
set
at
in
least
the
one
island
person.
equals
I
arc.
know at least one person that wanted to cut it for purity's sake. He says, "Oh, I just want Water 7 to be like top tier good Straw Hat goodness beginning to end. I don't need the Ace and Blackbeard stuff and like the talking with Garp at the end." It's like, well, you remember that Usopp makes up with Luffy at the end
Yeah.
there, right? That
The
kind
other
of,
thing,
I feel like you kind of like get rid of your perfect Straw Hat goodness if you don't include that part at the end, because then that shit's unresolved.
yeah, I guess my thing is always like why I like sagas is I always like making arcs bigger because of the very obvious fact, which is One Piece is not a bunch of individual stories, it's a really fucking long story.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I like connecting things more than I like disconnecting things. That's why I like how Bleach has 5 fucking arcs.
Absolutely. Beautiful. All right. So next, okay, this is about people who, again, it's kind of like misreading. People don't understand what Chopper's dream is.
Oh, there are so many people who say Chopper's dream is unrealistic. How are you? Because they think Chopper is gonna find like the all blue, except the all blue is
A magical cherry blossom tree that like cures all diseases when you look at it or something.
which is like I think people just like outright forget what Chopper's actual dream
All
is,
right,
which is
you know what's a video I hate, but like is kind of impressive.
what?
It's best guy ever's like One Piece PCP University lecture thing where he tries
Hmm.
to summarize the whole story in like 3 or 4 hours, and
Super funny.
on one hand doing that like off the cuff, like straight is like kind of impressive, but he also I remember says it's like some like dumb stuff probably because it was all off the cuff, and like he forgot what Chopper's dream was, and he says like it's kind of unrealistic to find like a magical cure all thing, but like hey that he's a doctor, that's his dream, cool I guess. And it's like but that's not his dream though. Like literally the
Yeah,
end the two most important lines pertaining to this at least at the end of Chopper's flashback was magical cure-alls don't exist, that's why doctors exist.
yeah. It's there's no such thing as a miracle cure. That's why doctors are needed.
Yeah, because obviously because
And then later on, it's like Chopper waving his flag
yeah, he's
outside
waving the flag and he says,
Kureha.
"I'll become the
Will become the
cure-all."
miracle cure.
Yeah, yeah, like
Because Chopper's dream is not to find the magic heal all juice, like some people said he might find on Elbaf. Chopper's dream is to become a skilled enough doctor who can cure anything. And Shocker, his end goal, realistically, is probably to become like Kureha and to teach it. Puff, literally this fucking panel. This fucking panel.
I know. Look at these. So it's so people just forget. They just forget.
They just forget because they want to like simplify it where they're like, oh, Luffy wants to find the One Piece. Sanji wants to find the All Blue. Zoro just needs to beat Mihawk. They forget that some people's dreams are a lot more like Chopper's dream is actually closer to Usopp's, where it's a lot more about his own self growth and
Yeah,
ability than it is about finding a specific thing or
yeah.
reaching a specific place.
I feel like if we are gonna get a moment where like Chopper like like achieves his dream, if we're gonna get like a moment like that, I imagine it could only come from like defeating oh what's his name Doc
Doc
Q,
Q.
because like Doc Q is the disease fruit, so
Every
like
time Doc Q poisons Chopper, Chopper like instantly heals it.
yeah, like if like I feel like if we are gonna get a moment where it's like oh he has become the cure all, it would be like Chopper like cures 1,000 diseases in like a day. It's like holy shit, dude. I fucking got this.
like literally, like he cures himself faster than Doc Q can poison him.
Or maybe maybe this would be cooler is if he like convinces Doc Q to become a good guy and says if we use your disease fruit in like a controlled way, we can create antibodies and then
We
create
can make
vaccines.
an antibody for any disease on the planet because you can provide an unlimited amount. Yeah, that could be cute.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Basically, the point is, Chopper is not a fucking idiot when it comes to medicine. He's dumb when it comes to like social interactions. But Chopper is very smart about medicine. He knows he's not gonna find like the healing goo from Dragon Ball. Even then, the healing goo can't cure everything because Goku still dies of lung cancer or whatever the fuck he died of.
I think it was heart disease.
Heart disease, you're right.
All right. So next is dude. Did you know that One Piece is like pro-socialist, and we know this because of the Revolutionary Army?
Where's that take from?
It's from our friend Croc. Remember?
Oh, I mean, I don't care about that take.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Because like the thing about like socialist is like socialism is mainly a response to capitalism, and One Piece doesn't comment heavily on capitalism because we exist in like a the entire world is ruled by one group, and also it's a monarchy. Like, you know, I don't hate if you call One Piece socialist. I don't give a shit, especially if you're an American, because in America, wanting free healthcare can make you get called a socialist, and One Piece is pro healthcare, as seen by Drum Island.
Yeah, I know. I guess I'm coming at some perspective. Like, I'm Canadian. I already have well, it's not perfect, but like we have free healthcare. But like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
I don't really care because like One Piece
I know
is like
where it comes from.
Extremely fucking progressive manga.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I know. Like I know where this specifically comes from is like the name of like Dragon Ship because apparently it's like a reference to like.
Oh yeah, it is. I forget his name.
Yeah, I'm forgetting the name. I think that's where we got it from.
The revolutionaries, at the very least, are extremely inspired by like famous, often socialist revolutionaries, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we live in a generally capitalist structure, so all the cool revolutionaries would oftentimes see people who don't like capitalism. That makes sense. Duh.
Yeah. All right. So next is we may have talked about this before, but about like how we can pretty confidently say that Dragon was not a former admiral.
Oh yeah, because a lot of people believe that for a while.
Yeah, because like there's really no reason to believe it based on the way Garp introduced Dragon. Because like when he says like, oh yes, the famous revolutionary is my son, Monkey D. Dragon. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Excuse me.
Whereas like what a lot of people's imagined reality is, there was a super strong prodigy admiral, got the admiral status at an extremely young age, and his name was Monkey D. Dragon. And then he left. And then years later, we learned about a revolutionary army leader called Dragon, and no one made the connection.
Yeah, you know, it's like darn, he's got these big scary wind powers, like our former admiral, who was also named Dragon. That's odd. Also, he looks exactly like him. We have his wanted poster. He looks exactly like our former Admiral Dragon.
Yeah, basically, the mere fact that no one knows who Dragon is heavily implies that, you know, when he was in the Marines, he probably was not that high ranking, or if he was that high ranking, it wasn't at like a big famous place. Like fuck it, you want to say that, I don't know, maybe you think Dragon made it to like Rear Admiral or something. Yeah, if he did, he probably became Rear Admiral in like the East Blue, not the Grand Line. Because, you know, he's not famous at all. At least as a Marine.
Yeah. Alright, so next is Usopp is not going to get Mjolnir. We don't believe this.
Oh, no, I think, depends on your definition, because obviously speaking, Usopp does have a lot of hammer imagery. So the idea of Usopp getting some type of cool hammer on Elbaf sounds very fun. I think that could be fun. I think there's a lot of ways you could duel I think there's a lot of ways you could duel Mjolnir that are fun.
However, what's obviously going to happen is Usopp is, you know, he's going to be fighting Loki or whoever the fuck, and he's going to be like, I have Mjolnir, strongest hammer ever. Only the giant of, like, coolest royalist blood can wield this hammer. Haha. And then Usopp says, that's a cute little thing. And then he lifts up this hammer that's half the size of Elbaf. And it's like, behold, Super Mjolnir Kabuto Mark 36. And then, don't make me slam it down. back off, buddy, and then it pops because it's a balloon or something.
Yeah, like realistically speaking, if Usopp getting I think everyone is pretty much right when they guess the most likely options for Usopp power-ups in Elbaf, which are if he meets his dad, he'll get an observation hockey boost. We know Elbaf has giant animals, so if they have giant plants, he can get a pop green buff. And then Usopp's main melee weapon is a hammer, so he could get some Mjolnir thing. But I do agree. I think obviously the best Mjolnir take is it's not something he swings because Mjolnir has the return factor. It becomes ammunition. I think that's
yeah. He's
obviously.
got to shoot it. He's got to shoot it out
Yeah,
with his
Usopp
slingshot.
gets some hammer that for some stupid reason, maybe it ate a dumb devil fruit, always comes back to him when he launches it. I think that is obviously the most fun option for if you have to give Usopp Mjolnir.
That definitely is. Yeah. It's a fun theory idea. So okay, so next is do you want to talk about Kaku X Smoothie for 2 minutes?
Oh, that all right. So back when Whole Cake Island was airing and Smoothie drank a giraffe, we joked that just like Stussy, Kaku is an undercover CP0 agent there, and he's getting juiced by Smoothie. And then we joked about how that turned into a blossoming romance. And end of series, they will retire. Smoothie will work with Kaku's friend Bluno to run a juice bar in Water 7 while Kaku rejoins Galley-Law. We made that joke a lot.
Yeah, it was a
I
great joke.
commissioned fan art of it.
Oh yeah, no, we'll put it up right here. Okay.
So
All
we
right.
can fucking find it.
All right. So next is we got a comment asking us to talk about this video, and we were planning to talk about it anyway. It's just what's his face? The guy with the Phoenix Wright profile picture. What's his name? What's his nuts?
Oh, Shonen Oji.
Shonen Oji, right? He made a video about comparing One Piece's paneling to Jujutsu Kaisen, and it is not a fun watch.
No.
No,
Because we've seen a lot more of his videos, so we can confirm this is a common thing for him. He doesn't really substantiate his point, nor does he really seem to. I sound very condescending. I don't think he knows what paneling is.
Okay, like literally, he says when you compare a panel from One Piece to a panel from Jujutsu Kaisen, why talk about singular? He's saying singular. Why are you comparing singular panels when you're trying to talk about paneling? You don't get paneling unless you use multiple panels and like the space and direction between them. So like, why are you talking about it like that? It makes it sound like you don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was also just like the editing didn't help either. Like when he was trying to talk about how good panels are, he'd like zoom in so heavily you couldn't see like a full page. He also just did the generic One Piece criticism a lot of people do, where they'll say, "Look how bad this panel is," and then they'll show paneling is, and they'll just show a page with a lot of panels. It's like, okay, but why is it bad? Like you can't just say there are more than 5 panels on the page. It's bad. You have to actually like explain what's wrong with it.
Do you know it was a good page with a bunch of panels that I recently read?
What?
Soul Eater when Maka's
Oh,
like
Maka
looking for
that's because it's
yeah,
fucking
Maka's looking for
hilarious.
Krona, and like it's kind of cool to like you see her big eyes spread across in a vertical because that's the easiest way to show like just her eyes, and then beneath it is like all the places like she's been to with the gang. You know, it's kind of with Krona and stuff like that, so it's like kind of reminiscent.
It's also
but
funny
also
because
it's hilarious because it shows Excalibur's cave like 3 times, and it's
And
the
every
only
time
ones. It's
she
the
doesn't
only
say,
text
"Is he
boxes.
here?"
Yeah. All the other ones have text saying, "Is he here? Is he here? Are you there,
Do you know
Krona?"
what it feels like, Puff? You could almost read it as like Excalibur can sense Maka searching for him, so he's like giving off a stronger wavelength, hoping she looks at him again. Because we do know he's strong enough to do that.
No, absolutely. I love him so much. He's the perfect little guy.
Yeah, so basically just with the One Piece paneling argument, obviously I think One Piece, generally speaking, has phenomenal paneling. The thing is just like I don't even have anything to say because like he doesn't substantiate his point. He
Yeah.
just says it's bad because it is, and then he'll say Jujutsu's good because it is. And I think Jujutsu has fine paneling, but also if I want to be a nitpicky asshole, I can point out bad Jujutsu panels, like the one where like the one that I bitched about to you, Puff, where Skuna gets trapped and then he escapes off screen, and it's really fucking confusing.
Yeah. I remember like because we saw this video, I like tried to think like, is there like a good example I could think of, because he's clearly not showing anything. Like
Right.
I feel like when he talks about paneling, he's talking about like page turn specifically based on the examples he chooses. Because like, look at
Right.
this panel, man, and it's like the one where Skuna cuts a guy in half in a big splash page. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, yeah, you know, you turn the page and suddenly Skuna cuts a guy in half. It's a big impact. Cool. That's a cool turn page. Now, are you going to talk about? Are you going to bring up the fact that it's a good turn page? Are you going to talk
hmm
about paneling or flow at all? And then he just doesn't.
Oh, he also doesn't talk about choreography that much, which is also really confusing because, especially in battle manga, paneling and choreography can go hand in hand. Like, look at Akira Toriyama. Look at like Vegeta versus Raku, or just like even like Goku versus King Piccolo the last time.
Yeah.
Paneling, paneling and choreography go hand in hand, but he doesn't really bring that up either.
No, it's just like, make this case if you want to, but you have to make the case. You can't just say and especially because like he'll start sentences with something like the reason why some people might think, and then just like, well, is this what you think, or is it just like, are you trying to hide behind these some people that you mentioned? Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And then he won't even bring up a real reason because again, he never substantiates any of his points. It's so weird.
Yeah, like we can't even debunk it. He doesn't say anything.
You know,
So like
if
it's
you
bad.
if you want to watch this video, don't. If you want to watch a longer, funnier version of the video, there's this channel I found recently called A List Exists, and they literally just do reaction to bad YouTube analysis videos. And they did this one, and they literally paused every 20 seconds and say, "Please substantiate your point, sir."
That's funny.
Yeah, it's nice. They're
I
pretty
haven't
cool.
checked them out at all, so this is only an endorsement from Puff. I don't know. Maybe I'll think they're like unfunny or something.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so do you want to just talk about the JJK comments in general? Because like, I don't think we're ever gonna make another one of those.
Oh yeah, we're not making another Jujutsu video.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
sure. Jujutsu Kaisen comment section. Here I come.
Woohoo!
Oh, okay. Let's check in order. All right, let me sort by newest and go to the bottom. All right. We have anything interesting?
We got someone recommending Bad Pains. Why I hate him, but
Oh, I'm
who
starting at
cares?
the bottom and working up.
Okay.
Um, let's see here. Oh, here's me being a pedant. Someone pointed out Naruto actually technically does kill someone. He kills the Itachi impersonator. Unclear. Naruto fights a guy that Itachi turned into him, and then when Naruto wins the fight, the guy is dead. But it is unclear if Itachi killed the guy and then puppeted his corpse, or if Naruto won by killing him. But the fact that we are not outright told Naruto murdered him implies that he was already dead, because it would probably be a big deal if Naruto killed a guy when he has never done that before.
Yeah. Also, wouldn't like at worst that be like a like Yuji killing those little meat puppets
Yeah.
situation? Because it's like, what can he do? Like the
Mhm.
guy's like, he doesn't even know that this isn't the real Itachi. Like it's unfortunate,
Mhm.
but like,
Oh, we got a comment that just made me laugh really hard, made Puff laugh really hard too. Someone said, "Not gonna lie, I think people are going to cancel you for all the spicy and thought-provoking takes." Laughed for a very long time, because
dude,
we're
dude,
we're not
we could
very.
just chuckle about how Nobara is a bad character,
Mhm.
and we're
We're not
suddenly
that
the
spicy. Unfortunately, we're not.
we're suddenly the spicy chunk because we
Yeah.
chuckled about how Nobara
Mhm.
was bad.
Someone pointed out a good point, which is when we were listing no kill characters, we forgot Vash, even though he's like one of the greatest ones ever.
I think it was. I don't think he was on the tier list. Is the thing.
No, but we also just didn't mention him when we were talking either.
All right, that
And the
is
reason
true.
I didn't is because I was only thinking of manga protagonists, and I haven't read the Trigun manga, so I only think of Vash as an anime character. Someone said something kind of funny. They said, "Oh, you guys could talk about Hunter x Hunter," but I don't think there's very many bad opinions to discuss. Oh, how
Oh,
wrong you
brother,
are!
I have a list already. I have a good long list already.
hmm Someone said Fire Force and Soul Eater, please. That could be a very fun one, just a
It
Okubo
could be.
special. I'm not going to talk about this long comic because I talked it out with them and we had a good time. They said they're going to reread the series. Someone this was this was a comment that outright annoyed me. I think the reason the leak situation might have gotten as bad as it did for JJK is because of just how truly and utterly dogshit its official translation is. That's fucking stupid for two
That is
reasons. Reason one, TCB exists, you moron. You don't have to
reason.
read Viz.
I know. Oh, okay, it's so stupid because like
And then And then
You think you're going to get a better translation from leaks when they don't even have all of the
no, that's my
pages?
no that's my other thing, which is like if okay, like let's say One Piece enters a similar situation to when JJK had a terrible translator. I am at a crossroad. Crossroad A is I read One Piece leaks. They're half wrong. I don't get any good art. It's choppy as shit, and I it sucks. Option two, I get high quality scans with kind of wrong translations, and then I go onto Reddit and Twitter 2 days later and read what was wrong. On what planet is option A the better option?
It's never, because you're not reading manga anymore. You don't get JJK when you read spoilers for JJK. You get the vague dopamine shot of
Like
reading
that is literally just
JJK.
a cope lie to try and like hide the fact that no, you just like reading leaks. Because I'm fucking sorry. A bad official translation, again, we're pretending TCB doesn't exist when it fucking does. A bad official translation where you have to go on Reddit 2 days later and see what was wrong is better than leaks. Because leaks aren't even fucking stories.
Yeah. Hmm.
Also, like, I hate to point this out. We all are always listening and reading to technically imperfect translations. Like, Puff, I hate that the more I watch anime, the more I'll be listening to subs and think that's not what they say.
Oh, no, you're too weeb brain now.
Yeah, no, I hate it. Anything else? SAO bad takes would be cool. Ooh, I would have a fucking heyday with that.
Oh
Maybe we
yeah.
can do that after SAO Alternative Season 2 ends and we watch it.
All right.
Oh,
Sounds
someone
good.
put at a good point. I was being nice to JJK shippers, and I do think discourse-wise they're good. But someone pointed me to
The
uh,
top 30 list.
it was like a top 30 of the most drawn ships on some if not porn, borderline porn website. That was a horrific list. I wish I didn't see it. That was a bad list. That list made me unhappy.
Should I
But
put the list on? Should I put the list here? Should I put it here?
if you want, I don't think I need to explain why I hate this list. Anything else interesting worth pointing out? Let's.
Um.
I'm going through. Um, why I love and hate anime. Oh, I'm not watching one of those. I don't care. I don't care why you love and hate anime, man.
Dude,
With
what do you feel? How do you feel about doing an Oshinoko video?
I have I can't even give opinions on that. I haven't read it. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
it's by
have.
the Kaguya author, right?
Yeah.
I like what was the first thing they meant? Something bullet?
Oh god. Yeah, you know, I'm forgetting.
No,
Was
it
it
was
like
good. I'm an idiot.
I think it was something with like two letters bullet or something.
Anyway, their past two series, Something Bullet and Kaguya-sama. That's probably not everything. Oh, Insta Bullet, IB Bullet, Insta
Insta.
Bullet.
Yeah, Ivy
Um,
bullet.
They have more series than that, but the two I've read, Insta Bullet and Kaguya, I thought Insta Bullet was a very good for a first okay series. And Kaguya is not only my favorite seinen, but like my fourth favorite manga ever. So
I know,
yes, I am
right?
willing to read Oshinoko.
And Oshinoko is pretty cool, and I don't I'm not like in the weeds with it, but like I can already imagine what some of the major stuff is. There's just one thing you could probably guess that's about based on just the
You've hinted at some things, man. Mm, yeah.
All right. Oh god, I feel bad because I'm looking at my notes and we were supposed to do research on Arthur's calendar because someone asked us to
I
do that a
don't
while
want
ago.
to though. I'm lazy.
I know it'd be like a bit of an undertaking to do that and just like, but like we should though because it sounds like it'd be really interesting to do so.
We might do that. Oh, big news about upcoming things. One is the is of course we'll do another power bottom tier list and we'll have a great time. Two is one of our friends is cooking up something very important that we need before we do our next. We haven't done one of these in a very long time. Just a response video.
Yeah, you know, we talked about the guy Kumo Bear. There's another video of his that we're not a big fan
We
of.
really I've seen it like 3 times. It is a terrible video.
It's one of those videos that somehow manages to say like 100 bad points in 7 minutes. Like it's a 7 minute long video, but like it's that bad. It's so weird that those
So
exist.
we're looking forward to that.
Step
That'll be
aside,
fun.
Dritz. There's a new king in town. You took 3 hours to say a few bad things. This man took 7 minutes to say 100 bad things.
God, that Dritz video is. I hate that that was in like on one hand, I hate that it was in common discourse at all, but also I love how quickly it fell out because no one cares enough to keep watching it.
All right, I guess that's it for today.
Yep, we're done.
Good night.